Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Friday, March 17, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. New Orleans Pelicans vs Houston Rockets. The New Orleans Pelicans are currently in 12th place in the Western Conference standings as they are 13 games back from the Denver Nuggets. They are also 3-7 in their last 10 games played. On offense, they are scoring 113.9 points per game and they have shot 47.7% from the floor. This is the 16th most points scored per contest and the 12th highest team shooting percentage. According to todaynba, the Pelicans have the 21st highest adjusted offensive rating in the NBA. CJ McCollum continues to lead the way on the offensive end of the court as he is averting 21.1 points per game on 43.4% shooting from the field. The Pelicans have also been much more successful when they are attacking the basket. They have only cashed in on 35.4% of their shots from deep, which is the 19th highest three-point shooting percentage in the league. Unfortunately, they've had issues at the charity stripe as well. They've only knocked down 78.2% of their shots at the line, which is the 18th highest free throw shooting percentage. I am going to ride with the New Orleans Pelicans, and I am going to lay the points, -6.5, on the road. They are the better defensive team in this matchup, as they will get enough stops to slowly pull away and cover this spread. Yes, Houston has won 2 games in a row, but they have still been terrible on both ends of the court this season. According to dunksandthrees.com, the Rockets have the second lowest adjusted offensive rating and the second highest adjusted defense rating. They will continue to struggle on both ends of the court and New Orleans will take advantage. The Pels are also scoring the 16th most points per game and they have the 12th highest team shooting percentage. They will cash in on their open looks and continue to build their lead on the road. New Orleans also has the 8th lowest adjusted defensive rating and the Rockets are scoring the second least amount of points in this game. They will go cold at different times and fall behind in this game. Pick the New Orleans Pelicans and lay the points, -6.5, on the road. The Houston Rockets are currently in last place in the Western Conference standings as they are 29 games back from the first place Nuggets. They are also 4-6 in their last 10 games, but they have won 2 in a row. On offense, they are scoring 110.3 points per game and they have shot 45.5% from the floor. This is the 29th most points scored per game and the 29th highest team shooting percentage. Jalen Green continues to lead the way on the offensive end of the court as he is scoring 21.6 points per game on 40.9% shooting from the field. According to dunksandthrees.com, the Rockets have the second lowest adjusted offensive rating in the NBA. They've struggled to knock down shots inside the paint and from behind the arc as they have only made 32.8% of their threes this season. This is the lowest three-point shooting percentage in the league as they have to get to the basket if they want to stay competitive in these games. The Houston Rockets have also shot 75.1% at the charity stripe, which is the 26th highest free throw shooting percentage. Our total pick is over. Memphis Grizzlies vs San Antonio Spurs. Memphis enters this game boasting a net scoring margin of +3.7 points per game, which is good for 5th in the NBA. Memphis hasn't been a lethal jump shooting team by any stretch this season as they sit bottom 5 in three-point shooting and are right around bottom 10 in overall field goal percentage. However, the Grizzlies have shown that you don't have to rely on the three ball in order to derive success. Memphis, who sits first in paint scoring per game, has stuck to a rather simple style of play. That is, take high percentage shots and a lot of them. The Grizzlies are ranked top 5 in field goals made on a per game basis and is 3rd in field goal attempts. Memphis has also made their presence known on the boards, where they sit 5th in the league in offensive rebound rate. The defense has truly been what keeps the lights on for Memphis. It came as a surprise to see them allow such clean shots to Miami, but that has not been the norm. On the season, the Grizzlies sit first in opponent shooting percentage and are top 10 in opponent three-point success. Their offensive prowess inside is translated to the defensive side of the court as well, with the Grizzlies sitting fourth in opponent points in the paint per game. This staunch inside play has been heavily aided by Memphis's ability to swat shots, third, and poke the ball away, as they are fourth in the league with over 8 steals per game. What will be paramount here for the Memphis defense will be their ability to limit assists and to disrupt the Spurs' offense. The Grizzlies sit at a league low in opponent assist rate, and that could factor heavily in this contest. San Antonio comes into this contest with a net scoring margin of -9.6 points per game, which is 30th in the NBA. The Spurs have been a work in progress for much of the season, looking to find their groove. As of late, however, the sun has cast through the fog, albeit dimly. Over the last 8 games, the Spurs have amassed a win total that is nearly 25% of their season total. It's the little things. The Spurs have followed a similar approach to that of the Grizzlies, take high percentage shots and take them often. San Antonio sits second in points in the paint per game and is 6th in total field goals made per contest, despite falling to bottom 10 in both field goal and three-point shooting. The ability to play selflessly and dish the ball out around 27 times per game and an assist rate that is 5th in the league has surely helped the Spurs inside. What has really played to the detriment of the Spurs has been their turnover troubles. Losing the ball nearly 16 times per game puts them near the bottom of the league. They have, somewhat, made up for this lack of full possession with their ability to crash the offensive, where they sit 7th in offensive rebound rate. The defense has struggled getting consistent stops as they sit bottom of the league in both opponent shooting parentage and three-point success. The Spurs have also been soft in the key at times and will be without big man, Charles Bassey, who is done for the remainder of the season with a knee injury. As such, the Spurs rank 29th in the league in points allowed down low and haven't done themselves any favors by not closing out possessions on a regular basis. The defense has done well to clog passing lanes, although they haven't been keen to force turnovers. San Antonio sits 6th in opponent assist rate and they'll need to disrupt the Grizzlies' offense if they want to hang around here. The Grizzlies have been fumbling around without Morant in the lineup, but the Spurs are a right team to get right and bounce back after a poor defensive performance in Miami. The Spurs' defense has been porous in many facets and will struggle stopping the strong inside play of Memphis. Memphis has also been strong with the ball and has done well to corral missed shots. Look for the Grizzlies' 8 points. Both of these teams generally play fast as they each sit top 10 in possessions per game. That being said, the Spurs typically play slower at home and will have trouble getting into a solid rhythm against the Grizzlies, who are one of the best defenses in the league. Memphis has been a bit more erratic without Morant in the lineup, and their assist rate has dropped, signaling more stagnant, less fluid play. Not to mention these are two of the worst free throw shooting teams in the league. The play is the under 232.5 points. Boston Celtics vs Portland Trail Blazers. Portland has been one of the most disappointing teams in the NBA since the All-Star break, dropping out of the play-in tournament picture. The Trail Blazers have only covered the spread 4 times in their last 12 games and have lost 4 of their last 5 games outright. I think the time for them to get their act together has passed, and they are now in the stage of realizing their season will not finish how they had hoped. Boston has won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these teams and is trying to make a push for the top seed in the Eastern Conference, giving the Celtics a motivational edge on Friday night. Our team pick is Boston to cover. Taking the over in this matchup for a couple of reasons. Both teams are very good on offense, with Boston ranking 3rd and Portland ranking 5th in adjusted offensive rating, according to dunks and threes. Both teams average and allow about 115 points per game on average, and both teams shoot the ball well from 3, with Boston shooting 37.6% and Portland shooting 37.3% from 3. The Celtics have gone over in 6 of their past 7 games against a team with a losing record, while the Trail Blazers have gone over in their past 4 games following a loss and in 4 of their past 5 games against a team with a winning record. In addition, when these teams face off they have gone over in 6 of their past 7 meetings in Portland and overall, making me all the more confident in taking the over for this matchup. Take over 227.5 points. Dallas Mavericks vs Los Angeles Lakers. Not only did Dallas need OT to knock off the Spurs last time out, but they needed a 6-point fourth quarter comeback to even force the extra frame. The short-handed Mavericks were able to put it together in overtime, thanks in part to 5 different guys finishing with 20-plus points, but that's the type of secondary production this team needs with Irving and Doncic on the floor if they want to make another deep playoff run. The Lakers can't afford to lose many more games this year, which makes the 114-110 loss at Houston last time out all the more disappointing. Yes, it was the latter half of a back-to-back and was the third game in 4 nights for this LeBron-less team, but there are no excuses for losing to a team like Houston at this point of the year. At least Dallas found a way to force OT and ultimately win against a similar opponent in San Antonio. There are a lot of ifs and buts in this matchup. With both Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving carrying a questionable tag, it's impossible to predict what will happen on Friday night. Luka and Kyrie have missed 3 straight games, and if they both remain on the shelf, I would go with the Lakers to cover. Hopefully, Anthony Davis will be ready to play and lead the way for Los Angeles. The Mavs have won 2 of their previous 3 meetings with the Lakers in 2022-23. But Los Angeles beat Dallas 111-108 at home in their last encounter on February 26. Anthony Davis dominated the Mavericks last time they met, notching up 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Our team pick is to take the Los Angeles Lakers ATS. The fact that the Mavericks have been so poor playing defense on the road all year long does help a play on the over. Any overplay is more concerned with how well the Lakers defense decides to play, and as I said earlier, I do expect them to bounce back after an embarrassing loss to one of the worst teams in the league. If Irving or Doncic return, the Lakers defense will be ready to give them their full attention, and if those 2 players aren't out on the floor for the Mavs, this Lakers defense might suffocate all of the Mavericks' remaining offensive threats. So despite the Mavericks' propensity for giving up boatloads of points, they are actually 16-18 OU when coming off a win this year, while the Lakers are 6-9 OU this year as a home favorite. Yes, 2 of those 3 previous meetings would have went over this current total, but the 234-point game needed OT to get there, and the 219-point game was the most recent meeting. The desire to play defense on nearly every possession and not once every 5 possessions like today's NBA has become is going to be there from both sides, given the playoff implications this has, and I don't think either side wants to need 120-plus points to win this thing. Take the under 230.5 points.